Good morning once again from Rotterdam. You heard some Dutch from Erik Bolks in the background, and Stefan Gorkum is also next to me. We're going to talk about yesterday's long day. It was the longest day with rehearsals so far in Rotterdam this week, of course, because the finalists, the Big Five and the host country, the Netherlands, took the stage for the first time. Also some countries from the second semi-final. We're going to talk about that. Let's start, guys, with those finalists, because we were all so eager yesterday morning to get to know, well, especially two of them, Italy and France. Did they both deliver, in your opinion, Erik?
They did deliver, and they delivered what we expected, so that's a good sign.
So, positive.
As an act, I'm positive, but for the chances for winning, we're talking about winning now. For France, I'm really positive, and for Italy, I don't see it coming.
And the funny thing is, this will be an interesting podcast. When I look to my right, where Stefan Gorkum is seated, of course in a meter and a half, you tell it the other way around.
Well, I mean, first let's just not skip over the fact too easily that Erik just said. I mean, of course we're talking about winning. Of course we're talking about winning, about two Big Five countries in a year in which we already have Bulgaria, who were amazing, in which we have Malta, who was the bookies' favorite and delivered so far. We also now have two Big Five countries who are potential winners. I consider them both Måneskin and Barbara Pravi. I consider them potential winners. But if I were to look at my own impressions and not at the community and the betting markets and everything, I would put Italy slightly above France at this point.
Why is that?
Because I think that it has a better song. It has a little bit more televote potential, and I'm trying to find ways to estimate Italy's jury score, but it's difficult because there are not a lot of very comparable entries in the past few years at Eurovision. Like, for example, I don't think you can compare this to AVS or Hattari or other rock bands that we've seen, because they were really, really different. And, I mean, maybe Manga is the best comparison that we have.
We have been blessed, the three of us, to have been to Eurovision for many years now already. I can't remember, Erik, a year that we had at this stage, with almost a full week of rehearsals behind us, that for the winner market, we still have more than three countries left, with France, with Italy, with Bulgaria, even though the bookies have them quite low, but I still consider them a potential winner. Malta, of course. We didn't even mention Switzerland yet. It's a long list of potential winners still.
Well, it's smaller now, in my opinion. After yesterday's rehearsals, for me, I have only one winner left, and that's France. And Swiss left the potential pool.
Okay, then I'm going to look to my right to see if I can get some support over there, because I still haven't made my mind up, and I've like, well, yeah, these five are still in the back of my mind. Yeah, I can't rule it out at this phase.
No, we can't, and this is. I think this makes it a special year, because we have. That's what I was just saying. We have countries from all shows, from all the semifinals and from the grand final now too, joining this long list of potential winners. France, if you look at the bookies and if you look at Erik, is at this point starting a little bit of a runaway, but I still have to see if that actually happens. And it might be a really, really exciting contest. It is at this point.
I must say the odds, when I checked it this morning early, they flattened a bit again. So France, Italy and Malta, they are both around 16% to win. Sometimes one takes a small leap to 18 or something, but it's very close for those three.
Yeah, I mean, that just makes for a very exciting year, especially when you consider Bulgaria, maybe Switzerland, but definitely Bulgaria as a dangerous outsider, like I do.
I'm almost forgetting, Malta was the country that started the rehearsal day yesterday, of course, and had some changes, especially in the clothing of Destiny, and it was an improvement, right?
No, I don't think this disco ball outfit was an improvement.
Every question I ask you this morning, you say, no, we're on a roll.
Well, let me explain. Later on, she was walking in the press center wearing a black dress, and that was really looking good on her. And I think, well, they should do another dress change and just put her in a long black dress, which really suits her, instead of this disco ball or this awkwardly pink outfit. If she does, then she's back in the winning race again.
I must slightly disagree because the first dress with the pink dress combined with the backdrop and the backings, it got a bit awkward. But now I think it could indeed, what she says herself, strengthen the message of her song.
Well, I don't think that much viewers listen to the message of the song. The first impression is the visual. And if that is distracting from the vocals and the message, it's not going to work. So better dress up nicely.
What do you think?
I think in this year and age, especially this message will come across. I do agree that that you get the visuals first and the message later, so it shouldn't be too distracting. In that regard, I think actually the most important change they made was to the boots, who were not halfway up, halfway down anymore. The fact that they changed the dress, I think in itself is an improvement, but because Destiny said so clearly after that first rehearsal, I'm not going to make any changes, it doesn't matter what people think, this is what I'm wearing, and then they changed it, that shows to me, even though the change itself I like, but I'm a little bit worried that the Maltese delegation gets too caught up in this dress thing and makes it into something more than it actually is. And that might cause some confusion in the delegation. And that's something that I think they should be wary for now.
Malta is, of course, the closing act of the first semi-final. We also saw many nations of the second semi-final, the first half actually, way up to Serbia. Which countries stood out in the way when we compare them to their first run-throughs and the first rehearsals? Were there some major improvements to you?
I think San Marino really did made a mess in the first round and now made an improvement, in my opinion. And I think Serbia was also bettering. They added some more color to it.
They were already good, right?
And they were already good, so it's a top tenner. Not a winner, top tenner.
San Marino, you went, of course, to the press moment of them because we all eagerly are waiting for the answer of that one question: will the American superstar Flo Rida be here?
Yes, well, at the press conference they weren't too clear about it, but we have our sources. Let's just say it like that, and I think that there's still a chance that he can come. There's still actually a good chance that he can come, but it will depend on very last-minute decisions, both by his management and by COVID regulations, quarantine rules, stuff like that. So I think the San Marinese delegation is putting a lot of effort into it right now to make sure that it happens, but they have no leverage because they're probably not paying him because they have no money. So they are totally in the hands of what he wants and what he can do.
Eric said it was an improvement, their rehearsal. I'm going to ask the question for the first time. How important is it that Flo Rida is here when it comes to the result of San Marino?
Yes and no would be my answer. So I think no in the sense that the way they cleaned up at yesterday's rehearsal, I think this performance, and Senate is actually surprising me, being a very capable performer. I think it should be strong enough to qualify. Then if you want to stand out in a final field where more female vocalists with up-tempo songs are going to join, and where you really need to up your level if you really want to go for top 15, top 10 maybe, for like the best result San Marino's ever had, then having a superstar there that can create just a bit that extra buzz and that extra quality to the rep part, let's face it, that could just get them over the edge.
Gonna talk about one more country in that second semi-final that we saw yesterday, of course, because last year it was one of the big favorites for the bookmakers. I'm talking about Iceland. This year, not in the bookmakers, not really in the fan community, never are they mentioned as a potential winner. I think we can all agree that they are not a potential winner, but why?
Well, it's a nice song. It has an appeal. I must say now, the second rehearsal round, the dance routine was better registered.
He also looked in the camera way more.
Yes, that too. So it seems to fit more together, and I like that would Daddy Fryer say, but it doesn't have this overall goosebump feeling with it. It's just nice to have, and that's not enough to win.
Agree?
I like, or ik vind leuk in Dutch. We have to teach them some words, Dennis, don't forget it. No, I agree that Iceland is not a real potential winner at this point. We spoke about it a little bit earlier this week as well. I think the two main reasons, well, the main reason is it all comes down to the song again. It's less than it was last year. And then the second reason that I would add, which is a little bit less important but still important, is that at some points, even though the rehearsal yesterday was better, it still seems as though they grew a little bit more accustomed to all the media attention. And they lost a little bit of that naivety that we saw last year and that made them so strong.
So that's it for looking back at what happened yesterday. Today we have... Sorry?
Germany, Spain.
Yeah, if you want to say something about Germany and Spain, be my guest.
Well, I was looking forward to Germany. You remember yesterday? I was looking forward how they would exploit his positivity and his energy. And they really did. It's a really colorful performance. Of course, it's a crappy song, but it's a happy one. So I would say if it would qualify, they would put it in the end. And now it's a final, and it's nice to have, but it's not a winner. Totally not. It's bottom rock, but it's fun to have.
I love how you guys keep fighting this entire podcast. Like every time Dennis is trying to go somewhere, Eric is like, no, we're not going there. We're going somewhere else.
He also wanted to say something about Blas. But I'm going to say something. No, but seriously, we've seen many things at Eurovision, but this was like next level fuck up. That's Dutch. No, he starts a cappella. Then the music kicks in and it's okay. And then suddenly there comes this beat out of nowhere, as if Armin van Buuren hijacked his entry, and it doesn't make any sense. It was. I didn't know what was happening. I thought some music was coming from the press conference room or something like that. But it was really
because it didn't sound in rhythm with the song either. So Armin van Buuren, I think, would be really, really, ashamed if this were his work.
Sorry, Armin. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah, no, this is, I mean, come on. We were talking about it yesterday, seriously, having a serious chat whether this is not only a last place, but whether it's still possible in the current system to go 0 points on both sides of the board with televotes and juries.
Can I say something more?
Yeah, about James Newman.
No, not about James Newman, but you're saying this awkward beat. I feel the same with Switzerland. They in the visuals, they make some awkward dance track kind of thing, and that's why I rule it out now for winning. But I agree on Spain.
So finally we agree on something in this morning podcast. We zijn het eindelijk eens met elkaar. We're gonna upgrade the Dutch level. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Dutch soap operas, probably. Thanks for listening to Daily Coffee for this morning, and we'll check in again tomorrow. Bye-bye.